In this video, I am going to discuss how you are going to solve the question regarding closing. I have received a feedback today in our coaching call that we need some information regarding closing and how to solve all these questions that includes closing. So I would like to tell you one thing, this is very important. That is your closing and initiation is simply the most important sections that you can have in your project. Before moving forward, I would like to tell you the sequence of the project. The sequence of close the project. The first step in closing the project is obtaining formal acceptance. Yeah, you have got accepted deliverable, so you need to get the final product as an output. Obtain formal acceptance of the product. Second thing is document lesson learned. Document lesson learned. Once you have documented the lesson learned, then release the team members or release the resources. Then close the contract. Once again, the four steps of closing or the sequence in which the closing process must happen is obtain formal acceptance, document lesson learned, release the team members, and close the contracts. This is basically how you must do the sequence of process of closing. Now let me just go into the detail of closing. In closing, you are ending everything. You are covering each and everything. Now, if your project is basically official closed, it is accepted, well and good. If it is not accepted, it is cancelled or terminated. You need to document those things. You need to document the reason. You need to write lesson learned, and you again follow the same sequence. Formal acceptable deliverable is not there, but you will document the lesson learned. You will release the team members, and you will close the contract in that sequence. Now you get 8 inputs in closing. Now, the way I'm telling, if you try to memorize in this way, you can understand it. First thing, the project was started on the basis of business document. So the first input is business document. That is business case, benefit management plan. The second is basically the document that was produced with the help of business document and which helped us to start the project. Project charter is there. Business document, project charter, then the document from which the work is all done, project management plan must be there. And along the way, risk register, lesson learned, all these issue logs needs to come there. So it will be in project charter, project management plan, project document. Then if we are doing procurement along the way, we need to have procurement documents. We have done agreements initiation, so those agreements need to come. Then we have opas in which we will write lesson learned, then those will need to come. So we have so far 7 input. Am I forgetting something? Yes, am I? The eighth and the most important input, accepted deliverables. The deliverables that came from validate scope and become accepted deliverable must come. Once again, 8 input. How to remember how the project started? Business document. Which formalize it? Which formalize it? Basically, project charter, then plan, then project documents, then procurements documents, then OPAs, then agreements, and then your accepted deliverable. Elias, we don't have enterprise environmental factor in closing. That is basically before closing. Then output, what do you get the output? The most important output that you need to understand for closing is the final product, services, or result. 8 output, 8 input, 4 output. The most important is accepted deliverables get converted into final product, services, or results. Then you have final report. You made the product, you delivered it, transition it, hand over it, whatever you want to do, give it to other person. You gave the project product to other person. Then you write the lesson learns, you write the report, what went well, what went bad, how the benefits were achieved, how the project benefits were business need identified in the business plan were achieved, how the risk issues were addressed. Everything needs to be written in the final report. Remember this, unless report is written, you cannot release the resources. Then you need to update project documents, operational documents, lesson learned repository. You need to update that along the way, and you need to update OPS. So we get final product, we get final report, we get project document update, we get OP updates. 8 output, once again wrong. 8 input, 4 output, and how many tools and technique along the way have? Basically, major tools and technique. If I talk about major tools and technique, then only three tools and technique: meeting with experts and data analyzing. But here, meeting is also very important. You are meeting with the stakeholder to confirm that deliverables that have been accepted are okay to hand over. We need to validate the exit criteria. We need to formalize all the completion of contract, transfer the knowledge to gather lesson learned from the stakeholders. We are meeting them to gather the lesson learned, to evaluate the satisfaction of the stakeholder. And along the way, we do celebrate success to see how things are happening. Then the third technique, data analysis. This is very important. We analyze all the documents. We see what are the trends, what is the variance planned versus actual, what is the variance, and we do regression analysis. We change the variables to see the relationship among them. What are the things along the way? So we are closing, administrative closing. All the information is being closed. All the things are being archived. We do all these things to satisfy the exit criteria, transfer the product, audit success or failure, get their lesson learned. All these things are being done in this process. This is a very important process because we are confirming work is done as per the requirement. We are completing the procurement documentation and handing over it. All these indexings and archives are being done here. So basically, everything is being closed and hand over to the other persons. Now, another important thing that I would like to discuss with you guys is that you need to understand seven important tasks that you are doing here. According to exam content outline, you are getting the final acceptance. That is, you are obtaining the final acceptance of the deliverable from relevant stakeholders in order to confirm that the scope that was set and delivers are properly achieved and archived. So, final acceptance is the number one task. Secondly, you are transferring deliverables to the relevant stakeholders. You are transferring the ownership of the deliverables to the stakeholder according to the plan that was agreed and the closure plan. Then you are closing all the things. You are obtaining financial, legal, administrative closure using the practices that are best suited according to the requirement and the policies of your organization. You are writing final report. Share final report with the stakeholder according to the communication plan, according to the project performance. Then you are basically reviewing the project and writing the lesson learned. You combine all the lessons that are documented throughout the project and conduct a review. That's why we are doing document analysis. Comprehensive review need to done so that you can update the organization knowledge here. Then you are archiving project information. Archive all project documents and material and good practices so that they can be audited, they can be utilized for future. Collection of stakeholders feedback, that is also very important. You are collecting feedback from all the relevant stakeholders utilizing tools and technique. Like one of the tools and technique that is utilized here is meeting. You are asking them the questions. Once again, seven tasks need to be understood: final acceptance, transfer deliverables, closure process, writing and sharing final report, writing lesson learns and reviewing along the way, archiving information and collection of stakeholders feedback. So if you understand this video and everything I have just said, you are good to go for closing, and you can do closing at a high note. And apart from that, you have just covered everything that must be covered for closing and solving the closing question. I hope this has been effective and this video is useful for you. Thank you very much. See you till next time.